Dear student, today I will discuss the short autobiography of Birsa and their role as a freedom fighter against Britishers. Birsa was born in the mid 1870s in a family of Mundas, a tribal group that lived in Chota Nagpur, at present time situated in Jharkhand. He grew up around the forest areas, grazing sheep, playing flute, and dancing in the local akhada. As an adolescent period, Birsa heard tales of a Munda uprising of the past and saw leader of the community urging the people to revolt against Britishers. The British stopped the tribal people from living inside forest by introducing some changes in forest laws. This created a problem. They lost labor force because most of Jhum cultivators moved to other areas in search of work. Birsa took great interest in the sermons of missionaries because they inspired the Mundas to attain their lost right. He also enjoyed the company of a prominent Vaishnava preacher. He wore the sacred thread and began to value the importance of purity and piety. Birsa decided to reform tribal society. He urged the Mundas to give up all their bad practices like drinking liquor. It is worth mentioning that Birsa also turned against missionaries and Hindu landlords. He urged his followers to restore their glorious past. He talked of a golden age in the past when Munda lived in a very good life. They did not kill their relations related from the cultural background. Birsa wanted to see these qualities again in a tribal society. Birsa saw once again that the tribal people had the capacity to protest against injustice and express their anger against colonial rule. They did this in their own specific way, inventing their own rituals and symbols of struggle. Birsa began touring the village to gather support. He used traditional symbols and language to rouse people, urging them to destroy Dikuj and the Europeans and established a kingdom under his leadership. Birsa followers began targeting the symbols of Diku and Europeans' power. The British officials got terrified to visualize the political aims of Birsa Munda. As the movement spread, the government arrested him in 1895, convicted him on the charge of rioting. He was also jailed him for 2 years. After Birsa was released in 1897, He used traditional symbols and language to rouse people, urging them to destroy Ravan. Dikuj and Europeans refers as a Ravan by the Birsa Munda and established a kingdom under his leadership. Birsa's followers began targeting the symbols of Diku and European power. They attacked police stations and churches and raided the property of money lenders and jamindars. They raised the white flag as a symbol of Birsa Raj. In 1900, Birsa died of cholera and the movement faded out. However, the movement was significant in at least two ways. First, it forced the colonial government to introduce laws so that the land of the tribal could not be easily taken over by the Dikuj. Second, it showed once again that the tribe people had the capacity to protest against injustice and express their anger against colonial rule. They did this in their own specific way, inventing their own rituals and symbols of struggle. Dear student, in this chapter you learn 2-3 main basic part related from the 19th century. Britishers developed and tried to capture whole territory related from the tribal areas, forest areas, and categorized in 3 parts and imposed the taxes. So the local people related from the tribal areas getting different types of problems, and after some time they united and revolt against ब्रिटिशर्स। तो इस पाठ के अंतर्गत आपने ये देखा कि किस तरह से अंग्रेज़ों ने न केवल भारत के मैदानी क्षेत्रों में विभिन्न प्रकार के, पूर्व पाठ में आपने पढ़ा लैंड रेवेन्यू टैक्स के माध्यम से सोर्स ऑफ इनकम को बढ़ाया, बल्कि उन्होंने माउंटेन और फॉरेस्ट एरियाज में भी फॉरेस्ट को कैटेगराइजेशन करके पहले तो लोकल पीपल जो ट्राइबल्स कम्युनिटी के थे उनको उन क्षेत्रों में जाने से रोका, और फिर ग्रेजिंग लैंड्स पर, फॉरेस्ट रिसोर्स पर टैक्स इम्पोज किए, जिसके कारण जो ट्रेडिशनल एक्टिविटी थी रिलेटेड फ्रॉम द इकोनॉमिक वो कोलैप्स हुई, और उसके कारण डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ प्रॉब्लम्स क्रिएट हुए एमंग ट्राइबल्स ग्रुप। और उसमें न केवल यूरोपियंस बल्कि जो दीकुज थे मीन्स मनी लेंडर्स एंड बिग लैंडलॉर्ड्स वो भी सपोर्ट कर रहे थे। यही कारण है कि ये मुंडा विद्रोह या संथाल विद्रोह न केवल यूरोपियंस अंग्रेज़ों के विरुद्ध हुआ, बल्कि जो लोन के माध्यम से इकोनॉमिक एक्सप्लॉयटेशन का साइकिल डेवलप कर चुके थे दीकुज, मनी लेंडर्स और लैंडलॉर्ड्स के रूप में, उनके विरुद्ध भी रिवोल्ट हुआ। और एक तरह से कहा जा सकता है कि अंग्रेज़ों, सेठ साहूकारों और बड़े भूस्वामियों के द्वारा शोषण का जो चक्र माउंटेन और फॉरेस्ट एरियाज में, खासतौर से 19वीं शताब्दी में छोटा नागपुर के पठारी क्षेत्रों में विकसित किया गया, उसके कारण नाराज थे लोग और फिर अंततः उन्होंने विद्रोह किया। न केवल इन सब कारणों से, बल्कि जो उनकी ट्रेडिशनल कल्चरल पार्ट थे जिसको ईसाई मिशनरीज के द्वारा कोड किया जाता था, उनका परंपरागत पहनावा, रहन सहन के तरीके और जो परंपराएं थीं उनका मजाक उड़ाया जाता था। ये सब कारण भी विद्रोह के प्रमुख कारण बने। तो इस तरह से हम इस पाठ में ये देखते हैं कि किस तरह से ट्राइबल्स जो ग्रुप थे वो बिरसा मुंडा के नेतृत्व में इकट्ठे हुए और उन्होंने जो ग्लोरियस पास्ट था उसको फिर से प्राप्त करने की कोशिश की।